So by mid-January 1966, the city of Murcia no longer whispered about the deaths in the Martinez de Aguirre household. They shouted. 4 dead children, no explanation, and no arrests at this point. Only grief and suspicion. And on January 14th, both parents, Andres and Antonia, were arrested. Authorities would suspect that the murders were an act of filicide, which is the killings of one's child. And Antonia, pregnant at the time, was confined to a maternity ward under supervision. And Andres was sent to a psychiatric facility for evaluation. And the surviving children were split. The boys housed with their father and the girls kept with their mother. A very controversial move, but one made with purpose. Detectives hoped that their killer might slip up. So by now, the story had reached national headlines. And this was very out of the norm because in this period of time, the press was very tightly controlled. And journalists just descended on Murcia, eager to capture the story. And what they found would completely stun everyone. The children, just weeks after burying 4 siblings, were laughing, playing, and smiling. And one photographer recalled 6-year-old Manuela looking directly into his lens and saying something to the effect of, quote unquote, "You want to take my picture because I'm going to die next." Absolutely chilling. Oh my God. And then, just like that, she went back to her game like it was nothing. But behind those playful scenes, detectives were watching someone else. Someone a lot quieter than the other children. Someone a lot colder. And that was Piedad. Her affect was flat, her gaze just completely unshaken. And she always seemed to be the last one with each of the dead. But they still had no proof at this point. Then, on January 24th, a detective had an idea. He took 12-year-old Piedad to a local cafe. Just the 2 of them. And he made small talk and ordered her a glass of milk. And then, with a sleight of hand, he pretended to spike her drink with the same metal cleaning compound her brothers used at work. And she noticed immediately. And after she noticed, she would grab his wrist and she would say to him this:
"Don't do that. You could seriously harm someone with that stuff."
The detective would answer,
"Is it harmful? Is it like the stuff you gave your little siblings?"
And at this point, per the detective's account, it was written all over her face, but he just stared into her eyes in silence until she spoke again. Piedad would continue,
"It was me who killed the 4 of them, the first 3 by order of my mother."
And the detective would say,
"And the last one?"
Piedad would say back to him,
"I killed him myself, alone. I acted on my own."
12